Okay. So, I am so excited, and I promise you that probably by the time I get halfway into this, somebody's gonna come, they're gonna start talking to me, and all of that. So, for now, um, I wanted to. So I wanted to do a live video of me really just trying different things that I've seen on YouTube. I have prepped this with some folded coffee dot papers, and some clipped in images and backgrounds. And so I'm just working with what I have. I get a lot of stuff from the Dollar Tree. I have ordered a few things off of Temu, and I'm waiting on an order, and like Five Below, but I haven't really gotten into the whole um, ordering, and probably because I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on supplies and materials because I can definitely find myself in a rabbit hole. And so I don't see a lot of I see some hauls, some Dollar Tree hauls, but I don't see people really using a lot of Dollar Tree products. And I have so many that I figured, hey, if I can inspire someone the way that I've been inspired, then we can start to build a little community. So first, let's kind of go through what we have here. And please don't mind my nails. I am going to have these done. I have a set of nails that I received from some random chick. Check her out on Instagram and TikTok, but she does these really wonderful custom made nails. So I'm waiting for that. But in the meantime, I had a little bit of quiet time at home, and so I wanted to take a stab at making a longer video. I've done a couple of shorts, and enough about that. So what do we have here? Um, so this is a junk journaling experiment. We're mixing mushroom. I have some sketches from a book that I actually picked up from the Dollar Tree that I really love. I'll share it with you later. And I'm just trying to find my space. So first, let's just go through what we have here. So these are some mushroom pictures. This is a honey mushroom. Um, this is so what I do is I kind of go through all of my supplies, and I put together little clusters that I think go well in the journal spread. And then I sort of clip them into the pages. So you'll see I've got the paper clips here for that purpose. And I do kind of experiment with a few things. This is um, a picture frame. I couldn't really get it to loose. I'm probably gonna have to take it to the sewing machine, and so I'm kind of experimenting with this. And I thought this would be a good way to incorporate and blend those two things. So we'll go through what I have so far. So these are just clipped on to the actual dyed papers. So on this page, I pulled out a little background. I thought the green and sort of beige thing was good. I have a few more of these that I pulled out from that sketchbook that I shared with you, which is really a great book. It's called Together, and it is like a pencil drawing about the COVID pandemic. And I wish I could have found two because I kind of wanted to keep one for my personal stash. And then it was a good book. So you can see here, I just have these are just offcuts from the actual book. So this was the inside cover. I thought it had a really good texture. This is another one of those sketches. And I really I'm drawn to black in my journals, not necessarily a gothic look, but I like the black papers, and I love how this kind of gives me a richer feel, in my opinion. And I do like earth tones, so I like to. You'll see as I show more of my journals. You'll see I do a lot with black, and I love the earth tones. And so I actually just went through this mushroom book and just pulled out the different pages. I don't know if I'll do any kind of fussy cuts or anything like that. I kind of just like them for the full page. And this is, I can't remember if this is from a Dollar Tree booklet or if it's from something else, but I like this one. It's a rainbow. It's a little bit brighter than the colors that I usually choose, but I wanted to start incorporating this because I have a lot of the Dollar Tree supplies do come in some of these brighter colors. This is actually a piece from one of those Dollar Tree paper packs, another mushroom, and as you can see, I'm trying my best to sort of coordinate the pages so that when you open them, there is some space there. Another mushroom, another one of those pages from the Dollar Tree packs. And this is some of my experimentation with paper dyeing. So this has some food coloring on top of the coffee dye. And honestly, it kind of reminds me of the Fisher-Price background. If you're old enough to remember Fisher-Price toys, I don't even know if they still make them. But I have that there. So I thought those would be good together. And some of these, I'm just kind of color coordinating. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do with everything, but we'll kind of figure it out together. This is an envelope I made after watching Treasure Books, and she was talking about the different envelope styles you can do, and they don't have to be symmetrical, which was a great deal for me. So I love this. I haven't done any embellishments on it because I'm still very new to the craft, and so for me, I just feel like once I glue something onto something, I immediately don't like it anymore. So this was an experiment. This is just some a paper ruffle I did with some, I don't know if that's parchment paper or maybe even a napkin. And so I thought this would be a good place to hide like some writing paper. One of the things that I like about journaling, or the junk journaling aspect of it, is the concept of the hidden writing papers. So even in the journals that I've been sort of working on, I worry about, once you put all of this stuff in here, how do you actually write? You know, because obviously you have a lot going on in terms of textures and different bumps and things like that that you can't really do like writing in the booklet. So I love the idea of the pockets and the tucks and the things like that to add in paper that you can actually journal on, as well as, for me, my journals are as much about me having time to create. So I do like to go through the ones, even the ones that aren't all the way completed. This is just some parchment paper that I folded and sewed around the edges. I'll see if I can actually glue, or if I will have to go take this back to the sewing machine. This paper is actually copy paper that was coffee dyed with a coffee and Mod Podge mixture, and I added water and I layered it between the wax paper, but the wax paper did not come off without tearing the paper. So I just went with the flow. I love that it has such a rich texture. I don't know if I'll leave it just for the texture of it or if I'll actually add something to it. But you can see it's going to still, this is an actual folded sheet. So let me, so clipped onto this one, I have a piece of coffee dye paper that I actually went through and printed onto from my printer. So I put the coffee dye paper into the printer and printed an image on it. So I do dilly and dally a little bit with images. So this is from that sketchbook that I was telling you about, and I love this. I love it. And so I said I don't know if I'll cut these out for something, or if I'll maybe make this into a belly band. Let's see. And oh, here actually is the back image. So I love this. I have not mastered adult coloring, but of course y'all know I got some supplies. They probably are not the top of the line things, but I did buy a few different I have some watercolor pencils, and I have a few different paint pens and things like that. So I do like this from the perspective of it just being black and white the way it is. So I thought this would make a really unique pocket. Then here we have more mushrooms, and so my idea was that I would probably cut this out and add it to this coffee dye notebook paper, which I would cut down. I like to cut down and get rid of the holes and the top margin, so that it just feels like a piece of coffee paper. And I'll probably add this little image on here to kind of keep the theme going, and maybe even one of the cutouts that I showed you earlier. Here is another mushroom. I think this is the lion's mane. And here is a page that I cut down from that book. And it had a lot of really good sort of like one-liners. Being alone doesn't have to feel lonely. So as I mentioned, this is talking about, it's just talking about this guy's journey with COVID, him and his dog. And so I liked this image because I love the image of him being artistic. And so I'll probably cut around this and add it to a page just to have like that image. This is more of that, copy paper that has been soaked in that Mod Podge and glue, Mod Podge and coffee. And you can't feel this, but it has really, it just adds a different texture. This is a much heavier paper. I almost feel like I could make a purse out of this or something. Here's another piece of writing paper. Actually, I kind of liked the tear. I know that wasn't intentional, but I kind of like the tear, and I may even glue this piece down to the page just so I can have that that page underneath exposed through the tear. I thought this was a really good story. It says the patience to nurture and watch them grow, and it has the little puppy here, and he is looking at the plant as a starter, then he's looking at it as it's getting taller to his eye level, and then now it's huge. And so I added these two in the background. Again, I don't know if I'll trim around these and add them to something, but I definitely wanted to keep the words. And so I found a couple of pieces. This is from a Dollar Tree paper pack. These are the 6x6 paper packs. And then this page was from a digital kit that I purchased, and it's printed onto linen paper. This is another mushroom. And so, funny story, while I was looking through the mushroom book, and so it has the picture, and then on the other opposite page it has the description. Some of these are inedible, so I said, oh my goodness, I don't want to, you know, promote poison mushrooms, but the pictures were so nice to me that I just really loved them. And this one's also on that black background, which I think really goes well with this sort of parchment paper look. Um, and then here's another image that I thought, I don't know if I'll keep the whole because I love the little frame that it's in. So I could, you know, cut this out and leave the whole thing here. But I also like the idea of using these images so that maybe at a later date, I may want to add in some different ephemera. So this is another cutout. As you can see, it's part of the windows that I showed you earlier. This one doesn't have anything on the back, so I would probably want to add something to the back of that. And this may become a tag or you know, a belly band or something. So we'll just hold that in. I like to just have something on each page. And as you can see, this one goes. It had some windows, so that's going there. Here is just a couple more pieces of writing paper that I will have to figure out how I'm going to get in. So I love clipping these out. So for me, journaling and journal making, the purpose is for me to have a place or to share a space for self-care. And so I do pick up these kind of self-care workbooks, I guess you could call them, that have these different prompts so that you can have some prompts to work with. And in my mind, um, I wouldn't want to fill up the page with this, but I think these are good prompts that you can go to if you want to maybe use some of the writing paper that would be part of the journal, and you can just use those prompts to get you started. Because sometimes, I know for me, sometimes I want to write, but maybe I don't know how to start, and so I like to have some prompts that can kind of get my thoughts going. This is the other side of that um, dyed parchment paper. Now, I love this. I love the colors, the browns against that black. And so I don't know if I'll move this to be part of the cover, um, but I liked it and I wanted to make sure that I clipped it in. And I thought it really, if I clipped it in here, it goes really well with this more colorful background. Another mushroom that I coordinated with, this is actually some uh, scrapbook paper that came with a journal swap, a swap from Facebook. So hopefully I'll find something really cute to do with this so I can post a picture and let that person know that their swap was appreciated. And of course, here is one of the pictures. I've already cut it out and rounded the edges. I just love this. I love the way that the image just kind of stood out. The man and his dog walking in the rain. This one, I usually make larger journals because I feel like I need more space. But these were two separate pages in the book. And honestly, they were pages on, like, they were totally two separate pages. And I cut them out and figured out that these pages would combine to make this whole image. So if I took these out and did it like that, as you can see, there's that whole image coming together. And so I want to do something that would make these images be connected um, in the spread. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I'll do like a flip up and have something under it and then have the four squares so that when you look at it as a single image, you can easily see how the pictures come together for one whole, but then they're each interactive. So we'll get a chance to work on that. And if you have any comments or suggestions, please drop them in the comments and let me know. And let me know how long you've been at this journaling. This actually was a insert to some pieces that I bought off of Temu. But when I saw this intricate cutout, I was like, oh, I want to keep that. Don't know exactly what I would do with it, but I am putting these two pieces to the side. Both of these are from the Dollar Tree cardstock, so you can see they're blank on the back side. So I saw a really cool hidden. I saw a really cool hidden notebook. So I feel a little inspired, and so I'm gonna see if I can do something with that. Here's just more writing paper. I have some of this sort of ledger paper here and another of the check-ins. This is just some cardstock that I thought kind of coordinated with that. And I like it's not plain cardstock. It's pretty textured. Um, and I love the little marbling or the difference in the colors. And then I have this mushroom here that I thought if maybe would be a background. So I have a few things on this page. And I also have another one of these pages from that sketchbook that I mentioned. And it's this one. A lot of them, there were so many really good images that I couldn't decide, and a lot of them are double-sided. I don't know if this is, no, this is not a double-sided one. So a lot of them were double-sided, and so I just added this cardstock here along with this cardstock, um, just to maybe even have some options if I want to add something to the back of that piece. I don't know, again, if it will be a belly band, a tag, a tuck, or whatever. So on this page, I'm bringing a little color back, working with that. More writing paper, another piece of that inside of the book cover. This is one of my favorite colors, and I really love that. So then on this side, this came from one of those Dollar Tree paper packs that I bought a while back. I have not seen anything like this in a long time. So I have been hoarding this. Um, I've been hoarding this one little piece of cardstock. It came like this. I never cut it. This is actually part of that tree paper. It's the roots of the tree. And on the back, here's another image. So I've been kind of, I want to make sure, I want to keep the images. I don't want to cover up the back. So we'll figure out what to do with that. And this really honestly is just a tag cutout. And you can see I was kind of experimenting with the best way because I am terrible. I'm terrible at cutting things straight on a straight. So I had to cut it out. And then, of course, on the back here, we've got another piece of that Dollar Tree cardstock. This is very, very thick. It's very thick. And it is white, but it's kind of an off-white, and I love the texture. So this, I think, would be like a good book plate. Um, so I'm just kind of holding it back here. And this is another one of those cutouts that if you put the pieces together, you would be able to see a little bit of the original story. So let's see. So like for instance, this was a picture of a tunnel, right? And honestly, it kind of works both ways as an abstract or two roads leading, so that way. So I thought about just actually using these as a flip. I don't really know how that would work out, but we'll work it out together. And as you can see, there's the art in this book was just phenomenal. And this is just another piece. You've got some clouds and some building tops. So it, separately they kind of look a little bit cartoonish, but really when you, if you have a chance to see the actual book intact, it actually really tells a really good story. And I got this book from Dollar Tree, of course, for $1.25. And whenever I go to the Dollar Tree, which I tend to go to a lot of different ones because no two Dollar Trees are the same. And so I like to go to the different Dollar Trees because they usually have different things. I've been amazed. Some things that I was looking for in my Dollar Tree, I just thought they didn't sell. And, you know, then I go to another Dollar Tree and it's like, what? One of the things was black ink. So I'm new to stamping. I don't really have an advanced stamp collection. I have a collection of the stamps from Dollar Tree. And so when I went to go and buy the Dollar Tree ink, I was only finding red, green, and blue. And honestly, I wasn't really feeling that. I do have one Tim Holtz distressed ink in the walnut that I use for everything, and I bought a just a simple kit of fingerprint ink that was pretty inexpensive. And so, I do know that the quality of ink matters, and I just personally have not gotten that comfortable with stamping to venture out and buy a lot of stuff. So this is just more of that, um, more from that booklet, these two pieces, and an envelope, just because, hey, envelopes are always good to add to a journal. So that's what we have so far. Now, what I do in terms of like my creative process, I wanted to just share this paper with you because this is another piece that I'm hoarding. It's not as thick as the black one, but it's on like a linen. So the linen paper is pretty durable. So I love this, and I only have these three little sheets, right? And so I am completely hoarding these, and I am thinking about using these as tabs. Here we go. So that was my phone ringing. I did not want to go on Do Not Disturb because I'm having some severe plumbing issues and I didn't want to miss the call. So this is it. We've done a flip through of my starting stash. And so it's been about 30 minutes and I don't want to keep you too long. So what I'm going to do is we will come back and there will be a part 2 where we will actually see how many of these pages I can get through in about 30 minutes. And, we'll kind of go through the process of layering the pages, removing some of these paper clips, and coming back to work on this together. So if you are like me and you're new to the journaling and you are trying to figure out like what's your style, what do you like, then, come on and craft with me. And until then, I will see you at the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe.